Rob, did you see a different side, a different side to your team last week, where a lot's always made about the attack and the way the backs go about their job, but the way the forwards did their job? You mentioned it after the forwards turned up this week. Was it a different side you saw to the boys?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, again, quite like as you say, Ali Heifer, probably I can't credit him enough for how our attack has developed since the time he's been at the club. And some of the things he keeps introducing and the development of the individual players has been fantastic in the time he's been here. And for us to look as comfortable as we do with a ball in hand is a great credit to him. And I think, on the flip of that, like you said, I think people have seen that and they've seen it develop for us and they've seen us be dangerous in attack, but maybe haven't seen quite always the fruits of the work that Rob Hunt has been doing with the forwards and the organisational stuff he does and the detail he goes into. And the way he works with those guys as individuals as well. And I think what you saw was you just saw that kind of a culmination of a lot of hard work, coupled with a pack of forwards who were really desperate to take hold of the game by the scruff of the neck. And I think that's what we did. We got the emotional and the technical balance really well. Really came together there on the day, and we reaped the rewards. And as you say, it gets highlighted in one game when you suddenly score 4 tries, 5 tries, whatever. But the reality is that it's been something that's been simmering there for quite a while. And actually our line-out game has been improving, our scrums game improving, it's been improving for quite a while now. And for me, it's great to see it suddenly get a bit of credit, because I've seen it coming and Rob's known it's been there, and Ali's known it's all been there, the package has been there. But all of a sudden it felt a little bit strange, because it was the big part of the game, it was the big deciding factor. But it's something that's been coming along nicely for us. It's obviously an area people will work very hard to stop now. Now we've kind of shown it as a major strength, but that only makes it more of a challenge. And hopefully what we'll see now is that the people really have to commit to stopping our driving game, that will create more space for attack. Ali's a big believer in wanting the best maul he can as part of our attack, and the reason for that is it creates space for other people. And so we've been trying to marry these things together for a long period, and what you're seeing is that sometimes there'll be some games when one thing stands out more than the others. In another game, which maybe this weekend, it may not be our maul, it may be our attack, maybe our defence. But what you have to have is have the ability to see what's working the most for you, see which is your best weapon, and when you find one thing that's working, you make sure you ram it home.
And when you look back on the game from 2 years ago, for long periods in both those games, the Chiefs were very competitive. Do you feel you're a different animal as a side now going in against this Clermont?
I would like to say yes. But until the whistle blows, I don't know. As you say, we were very competitive in those games, and they were strange games, weren't they? It felt like we were I remember watching it from the grandstand and thinking, hey, we're right here, we're okay, and then, let's go try. And that's what it felt like a little bit. A guy would chip over the top, or they'd make a break in a one-on-one situation when it felt like we had them covered, and all of a sudden, it felt like we were chasing shadows a little bit. I think we are better than that now as a side, and as I say, I think that our league position shows that. I think our other performances in other games show that. But ultimately, you are only as good as the performance you're putting in on a rugby field. Our last couple of performances feel nice for us, but ultimately, it'll be about what happens on Saturday and how we turn up on Saturday. And I don't mind it being like that. That's how I like to coach the players. That we should only be looking at the next game, and we should put the last game to bed really quickly. And I'll just remind the players that I want them to be happy to be judged on our performance on Saturday night, and not try and hark back to talking about the Wasps game too much. What should happen after this weekend is we should be talking about the Clermont performance, and we should be happy to be judged on that.